Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about Synology NAS. This video specifically we're gonna show how you can backup your system using Rsync. And then you're gonna ask Alan more one option of backup, why I want to backup my system. And simple, if you want to protect your data against of any hack or any hardware fail, you need to have backup. And if you want to fulfill the rule 3-2-1, you need to have at least 2 copies local and 1 offsite. And to do it, you need to have more than one option because not necessary that you want to choose only USB. Or as I showed in the previous video, not necessary that you want to choose 2 Synology NAS to backup it. Maybe you want to have 1 Synology and 1 cheap device as a Raspberry Pi or an old computer only running to do the backup. And this video we're going to show how you can do it using OpenMediaValt. OpenMediaValt is not the only option, but it's a one lightweight operating system that will work well and that you always can run in a Raspberry Pi, in a computer, and in this case we're gonna run in a virtual machine to show this video. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video, but first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider to subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's understand a little bit more about it. Before we start to explain how you can do backup using Rsync, you need to have in mind that you need to have 2 systems. The first one will be your Synology that will do the backup, and the second one will be any device that run Rsync. This second device, in our case, we're gonna show using OpenMediaValt because it's really lightweight. You can run in a Raspberry Pi, you can run in a computer. In this case specific, we're gonna run in a virtual machine. So if you come here in my screen, here it's my OpenMediaValt that I have installed in a virtual machine, and here in the side it's my Alpha, where it's my Synology NAS. Here it's the device that will do the backup, and here will be the device that receives the backup. I don't suggest you to run in a virtual machine, only I'm doing it to save space. So first things that you need to have in mind once that you have this system. First thing, you need to keep your system updated. Once the update is available, do it as soon as possible because you need to keep your system safe. Otherwise, you're gonna backup in a system that's not safe and could create all those problems. Other thing that you need to have in mind is that this interface should be a static IP. You can configure it either in this OpenMediaValt or you can configure it in your router for don't switch the IP. Otherwise, all your configuration will stop to work once that the system restart or the IP change. So leave as a static IP, don't forget it. To set up as a static IP, you can come here in network, interface and configure it, or you can go directly in your router. Second thing that you need to have in mind is the storage, where we're gonna save all this data. So in this case, you need to have more than 1 hard drive because in the OpenMediaValt, 1 hard drive will be all the operating system and the second one will be where you're gonna do the backup. Here I have my second hard drive with 50 GB. After this one, you need to configure the file system. If you come here in file system, I have my file system set up as BTFS. I like BTFS because it's more safe, it's more easy, but you can always use X24. Here, if you go in share folders, here will be the share folders. I create a share folder backup and then I create some permissions. Before I tell what permissions that I create, I can come here in users and create a user only for this backup for Rsync, call Rsync. Why I want to do it? I want to guarantee that only one user have access for the backups. In the case that others users have access for my SMB, for my OpenMediaValt, I'm sure that only that specific folder will be accessible for that specific user. In this way, make my backup a little bit more protected. Other thing that you need to be sure, if you come back in storage, share folders, and come here in permissions, only the Rsync will have rights to access this system. If you leave all the users to access these specific folders, they could delete it, they could check what's the information is there, and I don't want to do it. So don't forget to create a user only for this application. Now that you have all those things set up, we can create a module for my Rsync. So I come here in service, Rsync, server, module, and here I don't have any module, we start from 0, so I'll put add, and I can select what folder that I will save it. Because I already created a shared folder called backup, I will save on it. I can define the name of the module, I will put backup, and here will be the user that will have access for it. Because I created a use Rsync specific for this one, I can come here, my Rsync, groups I can leave exactly the same, and then I need to activate authentication for the user. If I don't activate it, potentially they will not work the way that I expect, so don't forget to leave this one. And now we go all the way down and put next. Of course, you have others configuration that you can do, but you only need to do it if you have a reason to do it. Otherwise, leave as a standard, and that's save and put apply, and yes. Now basically you just finish to do everything that you need to do in your OpenMediaValt. So now we can jump in our Synology and start to do the configuration in our Synology. Here in our Synology, the configuration that we need to do will be using the IP backup, the same way that we did with the others application. So click here and open my IP backup. Once that you open the RP backup, the first time that will appear the option for you to backup on the packaging or folder specifically, whole your system or LUNs. I suggest you to do backup for whole your system unless you have a reason to backup some specific folders. In my case, I will select this one because I don't want to take ages and ages to do backup. In your case, I suggest you do the backup for all the data, and if you have a few terabytes of data, this one could take hours, days to finish until they backup all the information. So I have this one in mind. So I'll put folder, put next, and here we'll have all the options of storage that I can have. I can use either the Synology options, on other Synology, a USB drive, but what we're gonna use is Rsync. Remember, you have some external cloud providers that you can use, but if you are concerned about price, I suggest use the file systems. So I come here, my sync, and put next, and here is the options of backup. If you want to backup only one time and leave this data there and don't increment it, you go for a single version, but in my case I want to increment it. It means that every week or every day they will do a backup, will keep this data safe, and in the case that I lose something, I can go there and retrieve this information quite easily. So I'll put multiple versions and put next. Now we're gonna select the type of server where they will connect. Because I'm not using another Synology, I'm using directly our Rsync comparable system, I need to put here. If I select here, and they will locate all the IP, they will not locate the IP for my OpenMediaValt, because this one only works if I use a Synology to another Synology. In my case, I will need to type manually my IP address. If I come here, the IP address will be exactly this one, 192.168.1.27. So we'll come here and type exactly it, 192.168.1.27, and encryption for this stage I can leave off. If I put on, I needed to change the Rsync or the module for the port 22, otherwise I leave the port 873. Now I need to set up my users. I will use Rsync and the same password that I created before. You're gonna know that everything is work once that you click here. They will try to connect, and if they appear the folder or the modules that you have, it means that it has been connected. Remember, each module will appear different name here. So if you have 3-4 modules created here in modules, here will appear all the names that you have. Because I already have 3 trials to do this backup, now I have alpha 3. If you have only one, we'll have alpha 1. Also, you can recover existing configuration. In my case, I will not do it, and put next. Now is the stage that you select what folder that you want to do backup. I select disactivate backup that don't have any file, and I create another file inside the Docker, and I put next. Now is the stage that you're gonna select what application that you want to do backup. I do suggest you to do backup for all the applications, because in this way, if your system stops to work, you can only recover all the configuration that you did. Principally, if you're using Synology Photos or Synology Drive, they already have all the configuration, all the shares and everything that you did, so I suggest you to do backup for all the applications. In my case, I will only do backup for antivirus and put next. Now we're gonna define the name of the task and how often this backup will happen. I can have enable file change, what I suggest you to do, then you know what application or what files has been changed names, and that's here will be data compress, will only work if you have normal files, Excel, Word, PowerPoint. If you have videos, photos, they will not compress so much. Here will be the limitation. It means that if you want to limit your bandwidth for, I don't know, 5 megabytes, you can limitate it. Otherwise, you can leave as much as your internet or your network can support. Leave this way. Here will be your backup schedule. You can select different times, but I will leave exactly the same. And here will be the integrity. This integrity will make sure that your data is safe. I suggest you to select it and leave it. Either that you will consume a lot of your power and will take some time to do. At least you are sure that all your data, all your backup is safe and is not corrupted. Otherwise, when you need to do backup, this data could be corrupted and it's pointless for you. Also, last thing that you can do is enable client-side encryption. You can select here and define a password, but remember, don't lose this password or don't lose the configuration file, because if you lose the password, basically you're done. You're not going to be able to recover this password and you're not going to be able to recover your backup. And to break down your password could take a really long time, so it's quite safe, but you need to keep your password there. So let's cancel this encryption and put next. Now will be the rotation for backup. I have early revisions. It means that they will do every day for 9 months in this case, and we'll have 256 backups for 256 different days. If I put the smart recycling, it means that they will start to backup a little bit different. The first weeks will be every day. After this one will be twice a week, once a week, once is 2 weeks, and continue on. At least you have a long time backup, 4 years compared for 9 months, but you're not gonna have backup for every day. So have this one in mind before you configure it. Now I put next, and here they will give overview for all the configuration. I can put done, and here they will create the task. And once that create the task, they will ask you if you want to do backup straight away. I suggest you to do backup, so I'll put yes, do backup, and that they will start to sync. They start to prepare the backup, read all the data, check everything's there, and that will backup your system. This one could take a few minutes, a few hours, few days until finish, depending how big it's your system. And then all the data start to be transferred for your OpenMediaValt. Different for Synology NAS, if you go to OpenMediaValt, you cannot read what's the information that was transferred for your Rsync. You only know that the data it's complete because here has been completed, but you're not going to be able to know a specific data, all the information in your Rsync, because you don't have the Rsync vault, let's say. But you know that the data is safe and it's backup once that appears successful, and always you can check the integrity of backup, and this they will index again and review if all the data is correct. And here if you look, you can see how many files has been updated, what's the source, how many megabytes of data is there, and all the rest of information. So you know that this happened and how much progress, how much data it's being added to your system. And if appear integrity check okay, it means that your data is safe and it's guaranteed that will be secure in the case that you need to backup. Also then after you can do some base configuration, your OpenMediaValt to power save, turn off in some specific times, do a SMB and everything, but you know that your Synology is backup. So in this way you arrive in this video. We show how you can backup your Synology using Rsync, and in this way you can make safe your data. If you want to use Rsync as external, I don't suggest you to open the port to transmit this data because it's not completely safe encrypted. So the best way in this case is create a VPN to connect these two applications. You can install Tailgate or other kind of VPN and that's used between these two locations to transfer the data, and in this way you know that the VPN will protect you instead of you only open a port in your holder. So if you like this video and think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and see you next time. Bye!